Jane Wicker is going to walk on top of this very airplane. Hey, everybody, how about waving at Kirk there? He's waving at you. Let's wave back to him. Following Jane Wicker and her incredible wing walking, we're going to wrap it up with the Twin Tigers and their formation aerobatic act. This is the Fairchild PT-23. This is being flown by Paul Quinn. He's a TV station general manager at WGAL-TV in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, not far from where I live. And right behind him is Rich Wallen with his Aeronca L-16A. This is a liaison aircraft, also known as an L-bird or a warbug. Notice how slow the airplane goes. The PT-23 being flown by Paul Quinn here is the first PT-23 built by Fairchild. Let's do that again. The Fairchild PT-23 being flown out there by Paul Quinn is serial number 0001, the first PT-23 built by Fairchild out of Hagerstown, Maryland, back in August of 1942. Hey, the airplane has a birthday this month. What do you know? Wait a minute. This is 2012, and that was built in 1942. This airplane is 70 years old. Holy underwear, Batman. The plane was based at Thompson-Robbins Field in Helena, Arkansas. And here comes Rich Wallen. Now, he's based out in Smoketown, Pennsylvania, at the airport down there. And this airplane has a top speed of 95 miles an hour. It's got 85 horsepower on board. The PT-23 has 220. Now, the PT series was primary trainer. This was one of the airplanes that you'd get into to find out if you could fly. And it also helped teach you to fly as well. Featuring a Continental R670 7-cylinder radial with 220 horsepower. Believe it or not, this engine was also used in World War II in the Sherman tank. That's what powered it. For those of you who think that riding in an open cockpit airplane on a day like today is a good thing, you're exactly right. It's flying a convertible. And here comes Rich Wallen with his airplane. Now, this is the militarized version of the 7AC Champ, and they were also used in the early part of the Korean War as artillery spotters, reconnaissance, rescues, and other liaison aircraft. This is the plane that they would send out to take a look to see what the enemy was up to. And they did everything that the fighter guys and the bomber guys did, except they were unarmed. But the Germans learned pretty quickly that if you shot at a liaison aircraft, usually they brought back heavier airplanes to deal with the threat. On February 20th, 1951, Army Captain John Olahovic of the 7th Infantry Division landed his L-16 in a creek bed behind enemy lines to rescue a Navy pilot from the wreckage of his Corsair fighter, a heroic action for which he received the Navy's highest award for valor. His citation reads as follows. When a Navy aircraft was hit by enemy ground fire and crashed into the riverbed of Chu-Chong-Gang, Captain Olahovic, flying an unarmed L-16 liaison aircraft, proceeded immediately to the area and skillfully landing in the rough terrain, made his way on foot to the stricken aircraft despite intense and direct fire from the enemy troops only 300 yards away. Reaching and lifting the critically injured pilot, he carried him back to the rescue plane, which was idling 100 yards away. Miraculously, escaping almost certain death, injury, or capture, he took off and flew the injured man directly to the Chechon airstrip, where he was quickly transferred to a field hospital. By his daring initiative and superb courage, he served to inspire other pilots to heroic efforts thus contributing to the effectiveness of the striking power in the task force as a whole. His selfless devotion to duty in the face of grave personal risk reflects the highest credit upon Captain Kovach and the United States Armed Forces. Quite a tale and a very heroic action. Oh boy, by the way, this L-16A, it took awards here. Best Liaison Aircraft at Sun and Fun in 2005, and also Judge's Choice and Preservation Award in Oshkosh in 2005 and 2007. There's that PT-23 being flown by Paul Quinn. Coming around from the left, here's Rich Wallen and an Aeronca L-16A. This aircraft was manufactured August the 5th of 1947. All right, ladies and gentlemen, get your cameras ready. I understand in conversation here with our air boss, we are going to be doing passes. So we got a couple of passes more, and then what will happen is the PT-23, Paul Quinn at the controls, will be departing back to his home airport, and Rich Wallen is going to land and enjoy the rest of the air show, which is what we want you to do. So get those cameras and camcorders out. Here's your photo opportunity, everybody. The Fairchild PT-23. Coming way around from the left, Rich Wallen with the Aeronca L-16A. Neat thing about the L-birds is that they were based on a lot of civilian aircraft that were actually in production at the time. The military said, we need low, slow airplanes. And fortunately, the civilian producers of aircraft already had them. And a lot of them were drafted into military service, and Aeronca certainly did build their share of them. From the left, here's Rich Wallen, the Aeronca L-16A. Paul Quinn is going to come around with his Fairchild PT-23 and set up for his photo pass. And after we recover these aircraft, we're going to go on a break. I believe 15 minutes, but that may be negotiable. Okay, I'm hearing 25, so you got plenty of time to go over and get yourself a Greenwood Lake Airshow t-shirt. Also, for those of you who are big fans of Jane Wicker, she's going to be selling t-shirts as well. Well, see you later, Paul Quinn. Have a safe flight back home. L-bird's going to come around, do one more pass, and then we're going to go to intermission. Following intermission, once again, I want to say, we're going to break out all that heavy metal here. After the break, the Northeast Raiders are going to go up, all 6 aircraft. You have got to see their formation act with 6 aircraft. It is just fantastic. Following the Northeast Raiders, we're going to have Gary Ward with his MX-2. Then Jane Wicker wing walking. I almost botched that, didn't I, Jane? My apologies. Jane Wicker's going to get out there and walk on the top wing, and the rest of the airplane there on Aurora. And then we're going to have the Twin Tigers aerobatic team to close out the show. So you got plenty of time here. Stick around. It's a beautiful day. And let's face it, dads, you don't want to go home and mow the lawn. Stay at the air show, please. All right, Rich Wallen completes his photo pass, and I believe now he's going to land. Ladies and gentlemen, we want to pass along an announcement. Any of you out there with an Airshow radio, or rather a VHF aircraft radio, please do not key it up if you're listening to the Air Boss. You do that, you'll be interfering with the safety and the operation of this air show. Please, you can listen, but do not transmit. Thank you. Okay. All right, everybody, Rich Wallen is coming around. He's going to land, and then we're going to take a 25-minute intermission. Then we're going to have the big finish. And I know you want to stick around for that. Rich Wallen there's got the aircraft on the runway. One of the nice things about these little L-birds, you can squeak them into places that you wouldn't think you could squeak an airplane into. But that was one of the advantages of these airplanes. They were low and slow, and they could land just about anywhere.
Hey, Fast Eddie, you did a great job. Let's give Fast Eddie a round of applause, everyone. What a great announcer he is.